Just because you feel a certain way does not mean you have to act on it. You have got to understand something right now. Feelings are temporary, but the consequences of emotional decisions are permanent. Think about the last time you made a decision when you were angry. How did that turn out for you? Think about the last time you quit something because you were frustrated in that moment. Where would you be right now if you had just pushed through? See, most people are living their entire lives as slaves to however they feel in the moment. You wake up and you do not feel like going to work, so you call in sick. You do not feel like having that difficult conversation, so you avoid it for another month. You do not feel like putting in the effort, so you take the easy road. And then you wonder why your life is not changing. You wonder why you are stuck in the same place year after year. Your emotions were never meant to lead you. They were meant to inform you, to give you data, but not to make your decisions. When you put your emotions in charge, you are putting the most unstable, most unpredictable part of yourself in control of your destiny. That is like letting a 2-year-old drive a car. I need you to hear this today. You are more than what you feel. You have a mind that can think beyond your feelings. You have a will that can choose differently than your emotions suggest. You have the power to feel one way and still act in accordance with your goals and values. The most successful people you see are not people who have mastered the art of always feeling good. They are people who have mastered the art of doing what needs to be done, regardless of how they feel. They show up when they do not feel like showing up. They persist when they feel like quitting. They stay focused when they feel like being distracted. Starting today, you need to put your emotions in their proper place. They are passengers in your car, not the driver. They can ride along, they can even give suggestions, but they do not get to determine where you are going or how you are going to get there. That decision belongs to you and you alone. You think successful people do not get angry. You think they do not feel discouraged. You think they do not want to quit. They feel all of that. The difference is that they do not let those feelings control them. They feel it, they acknowledge it, and then they move forward anyway. I want to destroy this myth in your mind right now that successful people have it easier emotionally than you do. That somehow they were born with some special emotional stability that you were not given. That is absolutely false. They feel doubt just like you. They feel fear just like you. They feel inadequate just like you do sometimes. The CEO of a major company has days when he feels like he has no idea what he is doing. The professional athlete has moments before the big game where fear tries to creep in. The successful entrepreneur has mornings when she wakes up and feels like giving up on the whole thing. These feelings are universal. They are part of being human. What separates the successful from the unsuccessful is not the presence or absence of negative emotions. It is the response to those emotions. When a successful person feels fear, they do not let fear make the decision. They feel the fear and they do the thing anyway. When they feel discouraged, they do not camp out in discouragement. They acknowledge it and keep moving. See, unsuccessful people think that they will take action once they feel better. They are waiting for the fear to go away before they make the move. They are waiting to feel motivated before they start working. They are waiting to feel confident before they take the risk. And they will be waiting for the rest of their lives because those feelings do not just show up on their own. Successful people have learned that action creates the feeling, not the other way around. You do not wait until you feel brave to do the brave thing. You do the brave thing and then you feel brave. You do not wait until you feel motivated to start working. You start working and motivation shows up along the way. So stop comparing your internal emotional experience to other people's external success. Stop thinking that you are the only one struggling with these feelings. Everybody is dealing with emotions. The question is, are you going to let yours stop you, or are you going to move forward despite them? That is the only question that matters. There is a space, a beautiful, powerful space between what you feel and what you do. That is where your power lies. That gap is where winners are made. That gap is where you decide who you are going to be. Do not give that power away by reacting to everything you feel. Most people live their entire lives without ever discovering this gap. Something happens, they feel a certain way, and they immediately act on that feeling. It is automatic, it is unconscious. Someone disrespects them and boom, they are already yelling back. They feel anxious about something and boom, they are already avoiding it. They feel attracted to something unhealthy and boom, they are already indulging in it. But there is a moment, a split second, between the feeling arising and the action taking place. That moment is where all your power exists. That is the moment where you get to choose. That is the moment where you get to decide if you're going to be led by wisdom or by impulse. That is the moment that determines the quality of your entire life. When you learn to live in that gap, everything changes. You start to realize that you do not have to yell back just because you feel angry. You do not have to eat the whole cake just because you feel stressed. You do not have to send that nasty text just because you feel hurt. You have options. You have choices. You have power. This gap is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The first time you pause between feeling and reacting, it might only be half a second. But that half second is enough. That half second is where you take back control. And the more you practice it, the longer that gap becomes. Eventually, you can feel something intensely and still have complete control over your response. Think about the freedom in that. Think about what your life would look like if you were not controlled by every emotion that passed through you. Think about the relationships you could save. Think about the opportunities you could seize. Think about the person you could become. This is not about suppressing your emotions or pretending you do not feel what you feel. This is about acknowledging the feeling and then consciously choosing your response. This is about being the author of your life instead of letting your emotions write your story for you. This is about stepping into the power that has been yours all along. Your emotions will lie to you. Your emotions will tell you that you cannot do it when you absolutely can. They will tell you to give up when you are 3 feet from gold. They will tell you that you are not good enough when you are exactly what somebody has been praying for. Do not trust every feeling that knocks on your door. Emotions are terrible fact checkers. They do not care about the truth. They do not care about reality. They only care about how you feel in the moment. And in the moment, they will convince you of things that are absolutely not true. They will make mountains out of molehills. They will make you forget every victory you have ever had. They will paint the worst possible picture of your situation. How many times has your anxiety told you that something terrible was going to happen and it never did? How many times has your fear told you that you were going to fail and you actually succeeded? How many times has your sadness told you that things would never get better and then they did? Your emotions have a track record of being wrong, yet you keep trusting them like they are telling you the truth. Your emotions are influenced by so many things that have nothing to do with reality. How much sleep you got last night affects your emotions. What you eat for breakfast affects your emotions. The weather outside affects your emotions. The song that just played on the radio affects your emotions. So why would you make major life decisions based on something that is so easily influenced by minor factors? When your emotions tell you something, you need to fact check it. You need to ask yourself, is this actually true, or is this just how I feel right now? Is there evidence for this, or is this just my fear talking? Am I seeing the situation clearly, or are my emotions distorting my perspective? Most of the time, you will find that your emotions are exaggerating, distorting, or flat out lying to you. I am not saying your emotions are your enemy. They are not. They are a part of you and they have value. But they are like that friend who is dramatic about everything. You love them, but you do not take everything they say at face value. You listen, you consider, but then you check the facts before you make a decision. Learn to separate feelings from facts. Just because you feel like a failure does not mean you are a failure. Just because you feel unloved does not mean you are unloved. Just because you feel hopeless does not mean there is no hope. Your feelings are valid, but they are not always accurate. Know the difference, and it will change your life. You are not going to feel like doing what you need to do most of the time. That is just the truth. You are not going to feel like working out. You are not going to feel like making that call. You are not going to feel like studying. Do it anyway. Discipline is the bridge between your emotions and your goals. Motivation is wonderful when it shows up. It feels great to wake up excited and ready to conquer the world. But if you are waiting for motivation to show up before you take action, you are going to have a lot of unproductive days. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. It is affected by your mood, your circumstances, and your energy levels. You cannot build a successful life on something inconsistent. Discipline, on the other hand, is reliable. Discipline does not care how you feel. Discipline does not wait for the perfect moment. Discipline does not need ideal circumstances. Discipline just shows up and does the work. Discipline is what gets you to the gym when you are tired. Discipline is what keeps you working on your business when you are discouraged. Discipline is what makes you study when you would rather watch television. Think about the most important goals you have in your life right now. Now think about how often you actually feel like working on those goals. If you are honest, it is probably not that often. Most days, you would rather do something easy, something comfortable, something immediately gratifying. And if you only work on your goals when you feel like it, you will never reach them. It is that simple. Every single person who has achieved something significant has had to do things they did not feel like doing. The writer does not feel like writing every day, but she writes anyway. The athlete does not feel like training every day, but he trains anyway. The student does not feel like studying every night, but she studies anyway. They have learned that feelings are irrelevant when it comes to doing what must be done. Discipline is a decision you make once, not 1,000 times. You decide that you are going to work out 5 days a week, and then you do not debate it every morning. You do not negotiate with yourself. You do not check in with your feelings. You just do it because you decided to do it. You take the decision, making out of the emotional part of your brain, and you put it in the committed part of your brain. When you start living with discipline, something amazing happens. The things that used to require massive willpower start to become automatic. They become habits. They become part of who you are. And then you are not fighting your emotions every day. You are just living in alignment with the person you have decided to be. That is when transformation happens. That is when your whole life changes. How many times have you quit something because you had a bad day? How many relationships have you destroyed because you were in your feelings for 24 hours? How many opportunities have you walked away from because you felt discouraged one time? Stop it. Stop making life-changing decisions when you are emotional. This is one of the biggest mistakes people make, and it costs them everything. They have a bad week at their job and they quit. They have one argument with their spouse and they file for divorce. They have one setback in their business and they shut it down. They make permanent decisions based on temporary emotional states, and then they have to live with those consequences for years. Your emotions are like the weather. They change constantly. What you feel intensely today, you might not feel at all next week. The situation that seems hopeless right now might look completely different in a month. The problem that feels insurmountable today might have a solution tomorrow. But if you make a permanent decision based on today's temporary emotion, you do not give yourself the chance to see what tomorrow brings. I have seen people throw away 20-year marriages because they had a bad 6 months. I have seen people abandon their dreams because they had a difficult season. I have seen people burn bridges that took years to build because they were angry for an afternoon. And the tragedy is that most of them regret it later. Most of them wish they had just waited, just held on, just given it more time before making such a final decision. There is a rule you need to live by. Never make a major decision when you are angry, sad, lonely, or tired. Never quit something on your worst day. Never end a relationship in the heat of the moment. Never walk away from an opportunity just because it gets hard. Give yourself time. Give yourself space. Let the emotion settle before you decide. If you are thinking about making a big decision right now, ask yourself this question. Am I making this decision based on a pattern or based on a moment? Have I felt this way consistently for a long time, or am I just having a bad day? Is this decision coming from a clear, rational place, or is it coming from hurt, fear, or frustration? Be honest with yourself. Sometimes the right decision is to quit, to walk away, to end something. I am not saying you should never make those choices. I am saying do not make them when you are emotional. Make them when you are calm, clear, and thinking straight. Make them after you have processed your feelings, sought counsel, and weighed your options. Make them from a place of strength, not from a place of emotional reaction. Your future self will thank you. I do not care if you are tired. I do not care if you are frustrated. I do not care if you are scared. Your bills are still due. Your kids still need you. Your dreams are still waiting for you. Your emotions do not give you a pass from doing what needs to be done. This is one of those hard truths that nobody wants to hear, but everybody needs to understand. Life does not stop because you are having a bad day. Your responsibilities do not disappear because you do not feel like dealing with them. The world does not pause and wait for you to feel better. You have got to show up anyway. You think the single mother working 2 jobs feels like getting up at 5 in the morning. You think she feels energized and excited to go to work after being up all night with a sick child. No, but she does it anyway because her kids need to eat. She does it anyway because the rent is due. She does not have the luxury of letting her emotions determine her actions. You have people depending on you. Even if you do not have children, you have people in your life who are counting on you. You have commitments you made. You have obligations you agreed to. And your emotions do not release you from those commitments. When you said you would do something, you need to do it whether you feel like it or not. Your dreams require consistency. They require showing up even when you are tired. They require pushing forward even when you are discouraged. They require working even when you do not see immediate results. If you only work on your dreams when you feel inspired, you are going to have a hobby, not a future. Dreams become reality through consistent action, not through occasional bursts of motivation. This is about integrity. This is about being someone whose word means something. This is about being reliable, dependable, and trustworthy. When you let your emotions dictate whether or not you keep your commitments, you become unreliable. People stop counting on you. Opportunities stop coming your way. And worst of all, you stop being able to count on yourself. How you start your day determines how you handle your emotions throughout the day. If you wake up and immediately check social media, immediately